does my sneeze smell? Is it safe to pop a blister?
Why do I snore?
I'm looking at your top 10 health questions that you're always searching online.
Why am I bloated?
So forget the internet. We've got your answers right here.
The fatigue, weight gain, always feeling cold, depression-type symptoms.
A lot of symptoms can be linked just to this one organ.
Coming up next.
Y'all ready for season 10?
I love you, Dr. Oz.
Welcome to the show. All right, now, you have all done it. You sat down with your phone, you asked Google about your biggest ailments, right? And then you have to sift through all the answers and drive yourself nuts comparing and contrasting all the diagnoses. Wondering what the right answer is. You've all been there, right? Struggling, suffering. Well, that all ends today because we're counting down the top 10 health questions you say you are always Googling. Could one of these be yours? Look at them all. Right? A power team of experts are standing by with the answers you've been looking for, and my web team is zooming in from the DrOz.com headquarters, fielding your questions as well. You guys doing okay over there? Believe me, they're overwhelmed. We'll check back in with you later on. So I was curious to see what questions you were looking for online. So I did a little field research. Take a look.
We set up a search station and asked women to enter the health questions they look up the most.
Why does my eye twitch?
Why does my sneeze smell?
Why do I snore?
Why do I sweat so much?
What they don't know is who is waiting to come out and give them the answer.
Why is my poop green?
How green is it?
I'm gonna pass now. I might be sick now.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Is it safe to pop a blister?
Alicia, the truth is you should never pop a blister.
Hello, Dr. Oz.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you doing?
The reason is it's sterile fluid in there. It's covering up the top layer of skin, which is exactly what you want. When you pop it, it could get infected. So it's biologic dressing.
Excellent.
You know, the questions keep coming in. Let's answer them all. We'll start at number 10. Let's go. Yin?
Very good.
Let's start the countdown with the 10th most asked question online. Why does my pee smell? This is Valita's question, along with millions of others of you. So, what does your pee smell like in particular, Valita?
I tend to notice that it smells kind of chemically.
Chemically?
Yeah.
You all smell your pee, right? All right, making sure. So joining us is women's health expert, Dr. V, who has the wheel of orders. Come on in, Valita. So, one of these could describe your pee. We're going to get around to it, but I want to start off with pee that smells sweet. What does that mean?
Excellent question. So we like to be sweet, but it's not always good to have sweet urine. And if you're smelling a really sweet smell, that could actually mean that it could be uncontrolled diabetes, and you have a lot of sugar in your blood. That means that sugar is emptying out into your urine.
Spilling pee with sugar. That's not you, though.
No.
Okay. Next, what if it's a little bit fishy smelling? I hate to ask this, but it does come up once in a while in gynecologist's office.
Oh, Dr. Oz, oh goodness. Yes, so that fishy smell, not so good. You don't want that. That could be a sign of a UTI or like a vaginal infection.
Not you?
No, not me.
Not you?
Thank goodness.
All right. Does your pee ever smell a little bit sulfury, a little rancid? No. Not really?
No.
What does that mean?
Well, our diet can actually influence our urine. So a lot of people that like asparagus might notice that their urine smells like sulfur because sulfur is actually liberated in the urine. And then cabbage and Brussels sprouts can actually have a compound in it that will turn your urine kind of like a really acidic, kind of like foul kind of smell.
Even though the food's good for you, makes your pee smell. By the way, this is one of the things I notice. When you guys go off and Google for questions on your health, sometimes you're Googling things that are normal that we want to be there. So a little rancid smelling urine because you're having a little extra cabbage in your diet, don't worry about that. Okay, now let's get to your issue. The chemically smell. Would you think ammonia might be a way of describing it?
Yeah.
You could. Aha. What does that mean?
That's it. Okay, so ammonia. Normally, you might smell a little bit of like ammonia in our urine, and that's because if you actually get dehydrated, the body concentrates its urine. So normally, urine is the way that we get rid of our waste, and if you get dehydrated, as you mentioned, and you smell more ammonia, that's because the waste products are getting concentrated in our urine. Our body's holding onto the water that it wants, and you end up with urine that's really bright yellow and smells like ammonia.
Interesting.
Interesting, or are you going to go right back on right now and Google, how do I deal with dehydration in my urine?
No, I'm going to buy and drink a bunch of more water.
All right. But actually, it's the same as that. So that's one option, right? Just drink a lot of water. What else does everyone else need to do if they've got ammonia-smelling urine?
So surprisingly, you actually should probably drink less coffee. So water's number one, but put down that cup of coffee. It has caffeine. It's holding on to all of that water that your body needs.
It's a little gift to you from the show. Alita, for being so honest on television. God bless you. All right, come on over here. The 9th most searched question is, why does my body ache? You're an anesthesiologist. You know a lot about pain issues. And recognizing the root of the pain can be complicated, but it's essential. Explain that to us.
True. So as you said, pain is very complex. And when we deal with aches and pains, it can be due to a whole host of things. Injury. It could be due to infection. It could be due to tissue damage. Or have no identifiable cause at all. So really, we act like detectives to try to figure out what's causing your pain, but you can actually do it too.
We do it right now. In fact, we got a quick quiz to uncover the truth behind your body ache so you can feel relief faster. It's on DrOz.com. Just follow along. It's mostly A's, B's, or C's. All you got to figure out is, are you mostly an A, mostly a B, or mostly a C? Are you all ready for this? Yeah. Okay. First question is,
where do you feel your pain the most?
Is it A, knots in the shoulders and the back area? Right? Get some yeses for that. Is it pain all over? That's the B. Right? Or C, pain in your legs, especially your legs. But you see how you're split up a little bit here. And there's over 100 million people got aches and pains, so this counts. Okay, next question. I'll walk back here. It has to do with the type of pain that you have, right? Next question is?
So if my pain had to be identified with an image, what would it be?
Right. Are you a knot of rope, literally pulled into pain, right? That's how a lot of your shoulders look right now. Are you B, a front of a bus? You know why? Because you're so aching, you can't move because you feel like you've been hit by a bus, right? Or are you C, a boa constrictor? Snakes are scary anyway, but it's a squeezing pain. It's a little different. They're all different kinds of pains, but that's the question your doctors will always ask you, and you should know for your own self to figure out what the cause is. Okay, Dr. V, question number 3.
If my pain had a symptom sidekick, it would be?
So we're looking for superheroes now. You're Batman. Who's your Robin? Is it a tummy ache? That's A's. Right? B, it always comes with fever. Or C, you have brain fog as part of it. You just can't put the stuff all together in your mind. Okay? Are you ready for the final question, everybody? Remember, you're keeping track of A's, B's, and C's. You don't have to remember everything, just are you mostly one or the other? Okay, question number 4.
The aches and pains are especially worse and wear me down the most.
A, when I think about all my tasks, all the things I got to do today, just wears you down, right? Or are you a B, right? I actually haven't been able to get out of bed all day, period. Or are you a C person? You get the pain after physical activity. Okay, now you got your letters already. You know who you are. Let's reveal the answers. Tally up the ones that you circled the most. And I'm going to put them all down real simple for you, all right? If you're mostly A's, it means your body ache could be caused by stress. And that's why you nod up. The mostly B's, why worry about the flu for you all? Right? And when that happens, it comes on fast. But for a day before it hits you, sometimes you're not sure what's going down. And mostly C's, interesting diagnosis, anemia. And we'll explain why that is in a second, because it's important to know. So what can people do if they have aches and pains in these categories? What should they know?
Extra good question. The most important thing you can do as a patient is when you go see your doctor, you need to use descriptive terms, as much as you can possibly pinpoint. This is how my pain feels in my neck. It feels like a rope being squeezed, and certain times of the day. What factors make it worse or make it better? The more descriptive that you can be, the easier it is for us to help you find a diagnosis.
If you tell us that you've got achy legs and it comes on with activity, we start thinking there's not enough oxygen in your legs. right? Those pains are different. Anemia is one of them, but they're different from the reasons you can't get out of bed or you have knots in your shoulder. So it helps us identify what's wrong without a lot of extra tests. We can pinpoint for you. So coming up, the countdown continues. The next question is something that, well, even Oprah has asked me about. Stick around.
It's the most wonderful time of year. But for some, it can be tragic.
Most common days for heart attacks, the days right around Christmas and New Year's.
What you can do to avoid holiday health attacks.
Jumping jacks, get your heart rate up. Come on, let's go.
Plus, the hand sanitizers actually work.
We use the germ counter to judge how many germs were on your hands.
All new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow.
One of the most common mouth sores that we get are called aphthous ulcers or canker sores. Now, if you've ever had one of these, you know that they are very painful. They can happen in the mucous membranes of the mouth. Now, there's really nothing you can do to prevent them, but some things that may cause them can be things like stress or hormonal changes, and other things as well, vitamin deficiencies, etc. They're not contagious, don't worry, and they usually go away on their own after 7 to 10 days, but there are a few things you can do to help that pain. They're over-the-counter pain medications as well as over-the-counter and prescription numbing medications as well.
Thanks for being here, everybody. We're counting down the questions you say that you Google the most. And I'm not surprised by the next question. Even Oprah Winfrey has asked about the topic. Question number 7 in our countdown. Why is my poop green? Now, for the past 10 years, we've made it okay to talk about this health subject. Take a look. Here's the proof. Oh, we're getting a full health scoop on poop. Your poop? Poop. Poop! Bring it out! What's your poop like?
Well,
How often do you poop a week?
I'm constipated. Sometimes I still recognize the corn, too.
You do. The hidden shame of pooping. Poop scale. We put up a poop poll. How do you poop? Perfect S-shaped poop, purely liquid poopers. Like a bird dropping pellets from the sky. Okay.
Yeah, it's more like that.
Find yourself in these poops. Have you pooped today, by the way? And we're here with two big show superfans, Michelle and Movica. They have watched every segment we have ever done on poop. Before I ask you for your favorite topic around poop, you guys are sisters, right?
No, this is actually my mother.
I love asking that. You're very proud, Mom. Both for your daughter because you look so wonderful. And your poop might be part of the solution for why you have aged so beautifully and gracefully.
Thank you.
What fascinates you about poop?
Well, poop, it's what's mostly important about poop, it's the way you poop. If you know when you poop, it falls
Quietly?
Quietly, that's not, that's a good poop. But if it floats, then that's a bad poop.
Oh, I like this.
I learned that from you.
Well, thank you very much. Movica, does your mom talk about poop all the time at home?
Well, not quite all the time, but I do have a little guy, and I know everything else about poop because of him. And so she knows everything about poop, watching his poop too. And so now he's potty trained, and so like my mom said, I'm always making sure to make sure it floats and doesn't sink.
Generational poop experts. I love this. All right, so we're gonna go a little pop poop quiz. You okay with this?
All right.
All right, the big question, do my super fans know everything there is about poop? Come on over.
Oh.
So I've created this little chart. I know you've been eagerly waiting to get next to it. This is called, interestingly, the Bristol stool chart. So all you gotta do, we all know you're supposed to have a bit of an S, right? This is supposed to be a bit like an S shaped, okay? So tell me what happens, for example, Michelle, you wanna go first? Who wants to go? Michelle?
Yes.
If your poop is between a 1 and a 2 on this stool's chart, what does that mean?
Well, I know this. It's constipation.
Constipation?
Yes.
That's right, and that's noisy poop. You were talking about quiet poop before?
Yes.
This is quiet poop. It hits the water like a diver.
Yes.
That's like little pellets, right? We talked about that.
That's absolutely
Movica, what does 6 and 7 mean to you?
That's like irritable bowel syndrome. You're not feeling good. It's not a good thing.
Not a good thing. So we got the two extremes covered. Now here's the question. What do you do with this? What happens when the poop is green?
Oh.
Even if it's S-shaped, if it's green. Any guesses?
Well, it could be because you eat too much spinach. Would that be a reason for having?
That's good. You know what? Come over here. Let's talk about that. So there's no question eating the foods that I recommend to you can make your poop turn green, right? The spinach works, avocados, broccoli. There's lots of, even the green drinks that we often offer can make your poop a little bit greenish. Though that's a good reason to have green poop, but there's some not so good reasons to have green poop. For example, foods that have artificial dyes in them, right, can turn your poop green. And you don't want that. Right? And if you take a lot of iron in your diet, it can turn it like a greenish black, like a dark forest green color. And again, that's not a problem unless you get worried about what is causing it. But the preservatives and the dyes, well, they end up in foods you don't always expect. And who would think that the salad dressing has dyes in it?
Oh.
So it sneaks up on you.
Oh.
Now, these are things that are problematic when you eat them. But that's not the only problem. For example, do you guys drink a lot of coffee?
Well, I do drink coffee sometimes, like 3 times a week.
Well, that's not much. How about spicy foods?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I eat spicy foods all the time.
And Michelle, do you also?
Oh, spicy food is my thing.
Okay.
I eat everything spicy.
Come on over here. Now, we just found something out that's probably the secret culprit for a lot of people. But we said, Michelle, this is important. It's not just what color the food is going into your body, it's how fast it goes through your body that can make it green. That's why it's a real clue. So for example, your poop always is green in the beginning because the bile is green. Mixes in there, so as soon as it comes out of your stomach, it turns green. And then slowly the green gets digested, it becomes sort of a yellowish color, and then finally it becomes that brown, and it gets darker brown as it sits around waiting for it to come out.
Yes.
So poop that doesn't hang for a long time, it tends to be green. Why does it hang? Coffee for some people. You don't drink a lot of coffee, Michelle.
Not that much.
Well, Vince and Michelle, both of you guys have a lot of spicy foods.
Spicy.
Spicy has a laxative effect. It sends it downstream and turns it greener than ever.
Oh.
So tacos might be your issue.
Yes.
Think about it. Just putting it out there.
And hot, spicy. I love spicy food.
Well, listen, unless you got pain from it or fevers or anything else, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Builds character.
All right.
Proud of you two.
Yes.
And I cannot thank you enough for being poop experts.
Thank you. I'm an expert in poop because I take a note of every poop show you have done. So I know all about poop because of you.
Well, keep sharing the news with everybody around you.
I will.
Bless you.
Thank
Up
you,
next, it's the question you ask when you can't fit into your jeans in the morning. But first, check out question number 6.
Hey, Dr. Oz. One of the most common reasons that women experience discomfort and itching down there is because of yeast infections. Yeast infections are usually caused by fluctuations of sugar in your bloodstream caused by you eating too much sugar or increasing your carb intake. That leads to a lot of yeasty beasties, so you might want to avoid that. The second most common reason for yeast infections are antibiotics. The antibiotics that are prescribed to you are usually to kill off bad bacteria, but unfortunately also kills off good bacteria, thus creating a disbalance in the vagina that causes you to get uncomfortable.
Ah, the sizzle of bacon. Could this breakfast staple put you at risk? The story you haven't heard. Plus, 6 reasons to fall for Shamar Moore. Next, Oz. That's coming up on Monday.
Today is the ultimate countdown of the top 10 health questions you say you were always Googling. We're down to the top 5 questions. Will the person seated in number 55 read the next question, please?
Why am I bloated?
What's your name, ma'am?
Hi, my name is Jacoya.
And describe your bloating to me. Seat number 55.
I can't fit in my pants. Whew, it's like huge every time I try to fit in my clothes.
All right, so bloating, of course, comes and goes, makes you frustrated because when you need to look your best, you can't. Gastroenterologist Dr. Roshini Raj is here to help us with bloat bingo. You all have your boards ready, right? Bloat bingo is help reveal the hidden reason for your bloat. Everyone in the audience has a card. Folks at home, follow along. Super simple. I love quizzes like this.
We all do. They're fun.
So Dr. Raj is going to list off some symptoms. You're going to check the little bingo boxes. When you get 5 symptoms, you just yell out bloat instead of bingo. Bloat. We all good with this? Yes. All right, Dr. Raj, the first symptom is?
The first symptom is dark yellow pee.
Dark yellow pee. What does that mean?
So when you're urinating and it's very dark yellow, that could be a sign that you're concentrating your urine. You're holding onto water.
All right, so we're getting clues for that.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Yeah, put that little concentrated your yellow urine.
Yep.
Next symptom, dry skin.
That's right. So when we're getting dry skin, you know, it's flaky, it's wintertime, a lot of us have dry, but excessively dry skin. You have to use extra moisturizer, you're not sure why your skin is that dry.
Okay, walk us through 3 and 4.
Okay, low energy levels is number 3.
Okay, you know who you are.
Symptom number 4, muscle cramping. Those cramps that sometimes happen at night.
Oh, they can't have bingo yet. You don't have 5 yet. No one likes bingo cheaters. All right, the last thing, I'm gonna give you I want a 5th one here. We need it because you gotta play for 5 with bingo.
Bingo is 5, that's right.
The last symptom, I want you to tap on the shoulder of your neighbor and breathe into their face. And they have to tell you if you have bad breath or not. All right, any bad breath, people? Any bloats? We have a bloat here. That's just good quality control. I heard a bingo there, but no bloat. I heard a bloat here. Yes. Well, now, of course, everyone's bloated because it's so darn common. Come on down. What's your name?
Jade.
Jade, come on down here. So, Dr. Raj, what is the hidden reason behind Jade that so many people are yelling out bloat for their bloat?
So all of those symptoms we just talked about, and you got all 5, those are signs of dehydration. And this is one of those not so often thought about causes of bloating. Now, when we're dehydrated, our bodies tend to slow down the digestive process. That can lead to constipation. And we know constipation can certainly cause bloating. But also when you're dehydrated, your body's trying to retain water, hold on to water. And especially if you start downing those salty snacks like the chips or the heavy sauces, you're gonna just really draw in and hold on to water. That's gonna lead to bloating as well.
Sound familiar?
Yep.
That's you. Walk on over here. We got some bloat-busting foods. For all the bloat winners today, your big prize is that cash is actually not being bloated so you can fit into those jeans when you get that big event. Go ahead.
All right, so what I like to do to really beat the bloat is to start out your morning with what I like to call your hydrating trio. And we have it right here. These are the strawberries, the kiwi, and the papaya. All fruits that have a lot of water, but they also are high in potassium. And potassium really helps your body manage your fluid balance so that you're not going to be too bloated and holding on to retaining water like that.
Okay.
I like to actually mix it with probiotic yogurt because you know I love my good, healthy gut bacteria. That's going to help bloating as well. Okay.
And the vegetables are valuable for an extra reason.
That's right. So we know vegetables are so good for you and the fiber in them is great, but they're actually, most of these vegetables are over 90% full of water. So they're super hydrating as well. Add them with some mixed greens in terms of a salad, and this is a great bloat-beating lunch.
Nice.
We're going to put all of these bloat-busting foods online. I hope you enjoy it. Save your prize. Congratulations, Jade.
Thank you.
We're getting closer and closer to the number 1 question. Up next, a surprising headache question. I'm telling you, it is blowing up the internet.
Ready for this?
It's The Dish on Oz, our brand new food series.
Make it tasty.
Daphne Oz and friends.
Always like to heat things up a little bit.
They're dishing on the hottest food trends and dishing up the coolest new recipes. From modern twists on retro meals and guilt-free comfort foods to time-saving dinner snacks.
This is why food is so fun.
We're serving it up every Wednesday. The Dish on Oz.
We're counting down the top 10 health questions you say you are always Googling. Let me check in with my web team via Zoom, who has an update about the next question blowing up the internet. Jesse, what are people asking about right now?
So people are asking questions about the head. They're asking about headaches, but they're also asking about dizziness. So are these two related?
Ooh, when I hear those 2 words, headache and dizzy, it means one thing usually, a throbbing migraine. Now, before you write this off, more than half of you who have this type of headache don't even realize it. That's a lot of people. Pain expert Dr. V is back, along with audience member Sergine, who often gets these headaches. Sergine, please describe your symptoms.
Definitely throbbing and like sensitivity to light.
Yeah.
Really aggravating sometimes.
So we ask you to keep a food diary, which is often the first step. And a lot of times doctors, by the time you see them, it's too late to keep a diary. You kept yours for a while. We'll show parts of it to the audience, and we uncovered a potential trigger. In fact, we covered more than one. Come on over here. First potential trigger, is artificial sweeteners. Now, Dr. V, how could this trigger a migraine?
You know, a lot of people who have migraines report that artificial sweeteners actually trigger them. Everybody's different though. So the interesting thing about that is that we need to have dopamine and serotonin in our bodies, and that actually, when those levels are high, it prevents headaches, but the artificial sweeteners actually lower them. And so that can actually precipitate a headache. So now that people are doing low carb and things like that, you see a lot of artificial sweeteners in your low-fat yogurt, in your coffee creamer, and even in your jelly. You know, there's just things that aren't really all natural anymore.
It's crazy. I would have really thought that the jelly would be all natural.
Right, exactly.
So we ask you to stay away from some of these secret hidden artificial sweeteners. I'm just curious, you did it for a couple of days. I know it's only a little time, but did it make a difference?
Yes, I had so much more energy and I wasn't sensitive to anything anymore.
No headaches for at least a few days.
Yeah, it was
It's a start. That's one trigger. The second trigger has to do with coffee. Now, coffee is sort of interesting. On your diary, you said on average you drink about 2 cups of coffee a day. So
Yep, every day.
Here, put these about when you drink them. So
Definitely.
I know you have one in the morning.
I have to start at 9.
All right, put it here.
Always.
So 9.
Yep, and then I have to recharge again at like 3.
Nice. So you sort of divide the day up. Right? And Dr. B, you say caffeine actually causes a very interesting kind of headache. Lots of different, you get withdrawal headaches from it, but there's a specific one called a weekend headache.
Yes.
That I'd not heard of before.
It's interesting. So you talked about how you recharge at 3, but you start off your day at 9. So on the weekend, if you happen to get up a little bit later, maybe you're missing that first cup or you're pushing it back. And so your body's used to getting that caffeine at a certain time every single day. And when it doesn't get it, it goes into withdrawal. You know, so that precipitates actually those headaches again. So you're going to get that nausea, you're going to get that kind of like that sick feeling, you know, and it really is real. And so I call that like a weekend headache, because if you're sleeping in, you're not hitting, you know, getting up and getting your coffee at 9. Yeah.
Break it down for us. What's the protocol to get off caffeine if it's worth it because you got these headaches?
Right. So the first and foremost, you don't want to go cold turkey, because it's just going to obviously trigger those headaches again. You want to go slow and wean yourself. So I actually like to tell my patients you're going to start replacing your coffee. So you're going to have a full cup of coffee, you're going to take a quarter of that, and you're going to exchange out a quarter of that caffeinated coffee for decaf. And you're going to do that on day 1 and day 2, and then on day 3 and day 4, you're just going to up that a little bit, and you're going to exchange a quarter more out so that you're at half and half, and then so on. So go slowly.
Definitely.
Half the equation is getting rid of these triggers. The other half is replacing eating foods that actually prevent these headaches. But you've got a pretty cool idea here.
Right. So at home, and in my office, I tell patients that you should make a migraine be gone smoothie. And I love it because it's healthy. It incorporates whole natural foods. So things that you want to put into your diet to prevent migraines are going to be things that don't have preservatives, no artificial sweeteners. And a lot of people, Dr. Oz, that have migraines, they're deficient in things like potassium, calcium, magnesium, and the B vitamins.
Really good.
It's good, isn't it? It's good, and it's
got
all natural.
kick to it from that
It
ginger.
does.
The lemon.
The lemon and the ginger, just, it tastes healthy.
Right.
It makes you feel fresh. And if it gets rid of your headaches, it's double bonus.
Surprising.
I'll toast to Be Gone smoothies.
Cheers.
We're going to put all the foods online in a headache guide. Check it out. Up next, I've been waiting for the next question all day. You'll see.
The sizzle of bacon. Could this breakfast staple put you at risk? The story you haven't heard. That's coming up on Monday.
We're down to the second most common question you say you're always Googling. Why do I get nauseous? Now, funny thing is, when you type that question, here's what happens. First, it tells you that you're pregnant. Nope, that's not happening to me anyway, right? Or it starts to tell you that you've got the stomach flu, but you don't feel quite this bad either, right? So that's the point, right? It takes you in a lot of different places. Today, the surprising reasons for nausea that the internet won't tell you. ER doctor Sampson Davis is here. A lot of patients come to him asking about the symptom. Why is nausea so difficult to decode sometimes?
Well, it's tough, Dr. Oz, because we don't know why it happens. It waxes and it wanes, it comes and it goes. So there's no really known trigger. And when it happens, you're so overwhelmed by the nausea that you don't sort of figure out what's happening in that given moment.
Yeah, so you'll be better detected. One thing to look for is to uncover something maybe hiding in your medicine cabinet causing nausea, which is?
Let's take a look and see. We have a lot in here, but this is really it, the multivitamin right here.
The multivitamin?
Yes.
So why is it that some people, when they take a multivitamin, get nauseated? What does
Well,
it?
some people have sensitivity to certain parts of the multivitamin, especially the fat-soluble components like your vitamin Bs cause irritation of the stomach lining. Other parts like iron as well, so they're highly absorbed, high ingredient contents which can irritate the stomach lining.
So if you're sensitive to Bs, which are, by the way, water-soluble vitamins, so they get really quickly into your bloodstream and they hit you fast, that's one of the reasons you know it's the vitamin, what can you do about it?
Well, ideally, you want to make sure you take with food. Very, very important. Have food on your stomach as well. Smaller amounts, but more frequently throughout the day as well. You can time and take smaller dosage, and that will help to curb some of the nausea.
Yeah, but you can still take your vitamins.
Still take your vitamins.
That's my personal hack for it. The next surprising nausea trigger had to do with hidden acid reflux. One of the biggest problems in America is we've got reflux and don't even know it's there. So how does it contribute to nausea?
So as the food churns into your stomach as well, as you can see here, this is your stomach, and this is your esophagus, which is the pipeway that leads to the stomach. You have a doorway here called a lower esophageal sphincter, which is just a fancy name for doorway. So the food churns, and sometimes the acid and the stomach contents come up into the esophagus, irritate that lining, and make you feel nauseous and make you feel like vomiting.
Yeah, the inside of your body is getting burned. Of course you're going to feel nauseous. One of the ways your body's warning you. So how do you tamp down on this hidden reflux?
So again, it's very important to eat smaller meals more frequently throughout the day. You also want to make sure that you do things like stay upright for 2 to 3 hours after eating your food. And if you feel worse when lying flat, you could put some elevation underneath the head of the bed, 6-inch elevation, to sort of elevate you to prevent gravity in that horizontal lie.
Imagine you're in a throne. You're very regal posture like that.
Yeah.
All right. Next surprise nausea trigger is to have a scent intolerance. Suzanne's joining us. And I understand there are certain odors that don't bother people around you, but they drive you mad.
Absolutely. Like hard-boiled eggs, Stilton cheese. I can smell dirty diaper from across the room as soon as I walk in and I turn around and I go out. Onions, heavily onion salads, physically nauseous. They make me physically nauseous.
Can you tell what I had
Why is that?
Can you tell what I had for dinner last night?
No. Halitosis, anything?
Why is that? Why are some people's brains wired differently? Suzanne out here.
Yeah, Suzanne, some of us have a hypersensitivity to smells. So you're not being silly. Some studies show that certain smells really triggers the brain in a hypersensitive way, and that sort of reacts to the nauseous system and cause you to feel that type of way, feel very nauseous with it.
So I've got something that's going to help. But this is sort of cool. My wife is very sensitive to smell, and one of my daughters she can't sit next to me half the time. She's mad at now that's not abnormal, by the way. Daughters don't like the way their dads smell in general, but this is, it's a crisis. So what's a quick hack to help people who have scent intolerance?
So some things that do help, if you notice when you become nauseous, you feel very hot and clammy. Yeah. So cool compresses, some studies have shown cool compresses to the back of the neck here really helps to soothe.
Lift your hair up, I'll demonstrate.
And so that cool sort of sensation kind of helps to make you feel cool. And lately also there's been another study called acupressure, and basically it's sort of taken right where your watch lies on your wrist here. You want to feel those two tendons there on the inside of your wrist. You kind of just want to gently massage in there as well. And so that helps to kind of distract the brain from that nauseous feeling and sort of help you to feel better.
So if you move your wrist back and forth, you can sort of see the two tendons there. Can you all see that on my wrist? You all have the same thing. See those two tendons there? So do that. Go back and forth so you can see them. Put your hand right between, about an inch above the crease of your wrist, and put pressure there. Right. And they actually make bands now. Now, I don't know, this you probably heard of a little bit, but the coolness behind the neck, did that feel okay?
That felt great. It was very distracting.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Probably almost better than this.
Right.
They both work.
And certain things like over the counter, like ginger tea, peppermint, stay away from carbonated beverages. All that has shown some impact.
Good luck to you. Thanks for helping me too.
Thank you.
Up next, the moment you have been waiting for. What is the #1 health question that America is searching for online? Stay with us. In 10 years, my kids have grown up. I become a grandfather. And I even have a few more gray hairs. I've gotten to know myself better by meeting you. It's you who taught me to listen. You've inspired me. You've given me hope, and you've been here for the ride.
Together, change happens. Our journey is just beginning.
It's a story that's going to change lives and save lives. So I feel pretty good about life right now.
Hi, Dr. Oz. Okay, this question is something that I'm always searching for on the internet.
This is the one question I am always trying to get an answer to, and spoiler alert, I never can find one.
All hour long, we have been counting down to this moment. It is time to reveal the number one question you're always searching online, which is, why am I always tired? Literally, you put in why am I, it'll auto-complete so tired. Today, an exhaustion examination to find out what's causing you to be so tired. Even when we get enough sleep, we are a nation of tired people. Take a look at this classic video. Now watch this lady. Here she is at her job, or maybe she's at home, and she's not paying attention to what's being, she's just slumped over. She is out. Whoa, we don't want that happening. We do not want that happening. Take a little while to put it back together again. Oh my goodness. At least she woke up. All right, listen, I'm gonna bring in Dr. Darria Gillespie. We all try to get enough sleep, but there's something that might be making us tired that just gets ignored all the time, and it's fairly common.
Yes, and I'm so glad we're talking about this because there's a potential cause of tiredness that I don't want people just to chalk up to just a factor of aging or not getting enough sleep, and that is your thyroid. Now, as we get older, our thyroid starts to work less effectively, and since it's such a major regulator of our energy and metabolism, if it gets off, you start to feel sluggish.
It's not yourself, and it's especially common in women, much more than in men. So give me the quick signs.
Yeah, and since the thyroid is such a central function in our body, it affects everything from temperature to digestion to how we use energy and more. And that's why symptoms of a low thyroid are notorious for being vague, generalized, and easily confused with other causes. So the signs, the fatigue we're talking about today, weight gain, always feeling cold, depression-type symptoms, constipation, and even sleep apnea, which then can worsen your fatigue.
So you all hear your jaws are dropping, but a lot of symptoms can be linked just to this one organ.
So true.
So you've got an at-home check list. This is an item that I'd not thought of before, but I think it's pretty clever. So the front row of our audience has hair brushes. Explain why you asked them to hold these brushes.
So I want people to do two things. First, they're going to check their scalp. If you're losing hair, I want you to look at where you're losing it from. Is it in the center? Because if that's the case, it's more likely to be due to estrogen and testosterone. Hair loss due to a low thyroid is in patchy clumps diffuse around your hair. That's one thing. And then now we're going to look at their hairbrushes.
Okay. Are you guys worried, intimidated?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Not happy about this?
No.
All right, let's grab a couple of these brushes here. Here, how about this one right here? We'll take this one and this one. Okay, now explain what we're seeing here.
So this is actually called the hairbrush test. You need to clear your brush and then brush your hair and then count the number of strands in it. Now we all lose a little bit of hair every single day. Even you have a great head of hair. We all lose a little bit of hair, but more than 50 to 100 is not normal. And then also look at the strands. If they're thin or brittle or break really easily, it may be a clue that you need to find a solution and can get help with this.
All right, so real quickly, it's the texture of the hair and the amount. And the amount is how much?
50 to 100 strands, and you just count them for the hairbrush.
Get counting, dears. All right, so look, what can you do to get more energy and protect your thyroid?
So if you're struggling with low energy, it's even more important to have a balanced diet rich in nutrients that support a healthy thyroid. So think iodine, selenium, antioxidants, and iron. So how can we get them? Eggs, for instance, are a great source of iodine and selenium. And then I have two hacks to help people. Okay. So number one, eat your eggs with raw vegetables that will help you absorb the carotenoid vitamins in the vegetables. And then number two is to eat foods with iron, eat them with a little bit of vitamin C to help your body absorb it. So let's put all of this together. Say we have an omelet, you have the eggs, you have the extra virgin olive oil that's going to help you absorb those fat-soluble vitamins, and then have a side of raw spinach with a little bit of lemon juice on top. That whole combination helps you absorb all those yummy nutrients, helps support a healthy thyroid and the energy we need every single day.
I just want your energy, Darria. Thank you very much. Be sure to pick up Darria's book, by the way, which is coming out soon, called Mom Hacks. And she did catch the baby, by the way, in that photo. When we come back, find out what health question my med team caught me Googling. You'll be interested.
It's the most wonderful time of year. But for some, it can be tragic.
Most common days for heart attacks, the days right around Christmas and New Year's.
What you can do to avoid holiday health attacks.
Jumping jacks, get your heart rate up. Come on, let's go.
Plus, the hand sanitizers actually work.
We use the germ counter to judge how many germs were on your hands.
All new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow. Today, we are counting down the most Googled health questions of all time. And now, I'm revealing the question that I'm always Googling. What's the new way to eat kale? Bountiful, green, elegant kale. I know you are all desperate to find out. So here with the answer, food journalist and author of the blog Party in My Plants. Party in My Plants. Don't say it wrong, Talia Pollock. So why is everyone searching for new ways to eat kale?
Well, we know that kale is the ultimate superfood, right? But it can get a little boring in salads all the time. So I love to take the hell out of healthy and make things fun. And I think kale deserves to be celebrated.
She's done something here that is remarkable. She's made kale even more exciting than it already is. So
you can believe it.
Explain now what this is.
So this is kale dark chocolate chip ice cream.
Can you imagine the joy that I felt looking at this kale ice cream, which I'm going to taste in front of you all right now? First of all, I think it's a brilliant concept. I don't know how it's going to taste. We're going to figure that out together. Please explain to us how we make it.
Yeah, so you just take kale, almond milk, soaked cashews, coconut oil, vanilla, dark chocolate chips, and maple syrup. And you put all of that, except for the dark chocolate chips, in your blender, and you blend it until it's really creamy. And then you add in the dark chocolate chips, stir it up, and put it in some freezable container. And then cover it, pop it in your freezer, let it sit at least 6 hours. You can let it sit overnight, go to bed, wake up, and you have ice cream.
Talia has put together literally every one of my favorite foods. Dark chocolate, kale, coconut. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's orgasmic. It's really, and it's not icy at all. I thought it was going to be, you know how you put healthy foods in a freezer? It doesn't quite taste like the ice cream.
Yeah.
Why is it not icy?
Well, first of all, it's amazing because you don't even need an ice cream maker to make this. So that's big one, number one. And also the way it's not icy is there's nothing in it that has water. So the cashews make it super creamy, and the almond milk with the cashews, and the coconut oil, which hardens in cold temperatures, it's just perfection.
Everyone in America should be making, in fact, everyone in the whole world should be making this kale ice cream. Let's go grab yours.
I need to get in on this.
Yeah, get it on. Come on, join me a little bit.
Okay.
You can leave the kale behind because you've got our own. I've got the audience here tasting the kale, so you don't believe me because I know you think I'm a fanatic about kale. So, is there a smile on that face of yours?
Oh my God, that is so good.
Did I describe it right?
It is creamy, chocolatey. You do not taste the kale. It's amazing.
Yay!
What do you like the most about this? I'm assuming you like it.
I love it. It's creamy.
The creaminess, isn't it? It's surprising.
Yeah.
I expect it to be icy and crunchy a little bit.
No, it's good.
Not icy at all. So smooth. And the chocolate chips are like such a treat.
Yes.
It's really good.
It doesn't even taste like kale, honestly. I'm definitely making this at home. Thank you.
Would you give it to your kids?
I don't have kids, but if I had kids, definitely.
You should make enough for kids. You can finish. You give it to them?
Perfect.
I'm proud of you. Talia, this is fantastic.
I'm so glad.
It's absolutely brilliant. We'll put the recipe on DrOz.com. Finally, the answer that I have been searching for years, and it came because I Googled it.
Yeah, there you go.
It shows up. Thanks for watching, everyone. Change is happening. Our journey is just beginning. Here's an example.